My friend Dimokritos sent us a few questions. I know that we're meant to be doing, board game reviews, but I haven't played any board games, so I'm sorry I can't do anything at the moment. But I'm going to come with some reviews, RPG reviews, very, very soon indeed. I know that we were going to be doing the game evening advice and recipes and so on and so forth. But these 4 questions I do like. So, Dimokritos is going to have a Kickstarter campaign for his game, and he wants to make sure that he's doing the best that he possibly can. So he approached me with 1. Should I approach a major pool of smaller YouTubers for paid or non-paid advertising, or focus my budget in 1-2 major 5e professionals? What do you think?
Boy, how much time do I have?
You have like 2 minutes. So
okay. So the answer to the question is, within the board game community, generally people really like a lot of different channels previewing their game. And that's why whenever you go to a board game Kickstarter, you'll see videos from Dice Tower, from Meeples, whatever Meeples is what it was called, and Rado. They'll have a bunch of people because they'll dump a lot of money because they, for the reason people want 6 or 7 versions of the exact same video.
Yes.
But in tabletop role-playing, different scenario entirely. You don't need to have preview videos of how your game is played. There have been million-dollar campaigns that have no promotional videos whatsoever. At the end of the day, it's a completely different market. So if you have, I would say, if you have a fixed budget, find a handful of people willing to do videos, maybe 1 or 2, and just post it. And that's all you need. You don't need to blow lots of money. It's not like a board game. Tabletop role-playing is for some reason, is a much... people don't need to have all the bells and whistles. So you don't need to have 14 videos from high-profile people. Do 1 or 2. Focus your budget on the best person you can do. Get 1 video. That's fine.
I'm going to say go for as many non-paid YouTubers as you possibly can. Simple as. Get a number of copies that you can send to people. Do some research. Okay, don't just send it anybody. If a YouTuber is used to doing horror role-playing games, and your role-playing game is a fantasy, don't send them your game. They're not gonna do a fucking thing with it. So find people who do reviews that you like, that you enjoy, about games that your game could resonate with them. It takes a while doing it, but they will be very grateful. I know this because I love being a small YouTuber who does this for people I like and talk about those games for a while, because don't expect that unless somebody falls in love completely with your game, don't expect that we're going to be talking about your game forever. We talk about your game for a while, and then we will jump onto the next one because we need to give it to somebody else. But I would find 10 people, 15 people perhaps, who would be willing to do reviews, who would be willing to do interviews, to tweet about it, perhaps play a game, and do it that way. And for the love of all that's holy, okay, none of that is going to make any difference whatsoever to your campaign unless you, the campaign owner, also makes an effort in distributing, promoting, not promoting paid, but promoting as in talking about the work that those reviewers are doing for you. We also need that. This is a team effort. So
yeah,
you need to do that. So yeah, I would say I'm going to go for a mix. Go for 1 person, perhaps 2 that you can pay, and then a bunch that you don't have to pay for, and smaller ones. And I think that's the best strategy. Question number 2. On major forums, RPGNet, rogpub, etc., a single post is visible only from 100 people for a day. Is there ways to achieve better visibility or a spotlight? Yes. Make lots of posts about your game, spark discussion, and add links in your post, and do it tastefully and indirectly. Don't make spammy. but ask people about your game. What would you like to see? Do you like these illustrations, or do you like these ones instead? Would you like this mechanic? I've been thinking about it for the game, or would you like this one instead? Talk and create community.
EndWorld has you got to pay a little bit. It's not too much, but you can pay to get a publisher account. And when you have a publisher account, you can advertise your product in some of the major forum groups. Otherwise, you're limited to just a independent forum, which not a lot of people visit. But if you pay a little bit, I don't know how much it is, you can post your stuff in other forums, and EndWorld still works like a regular forum. Things aren't retired as quickly. So yeah, go on to our EndWorld, get a publisher account, give Russ a little bit of money, unfortunately, and then you can post a bunch of stuff, and then there you go.
Yeah, but above all, I haven't been in forums for years because, quite frankly, my experience in forums in the past was absolutely horrible. So I can't be asked to go back into that. But take a look, and above all,
I kind of have no choice.
Well, I think the important thing of forums is to create community. So talk about your game, ask people, create a community. Question number 3. I have a steady partnership with Geeknative. They're good people, so that's absolutely fine. I have built a relationship that they create an article for each of my games. Should I search for more of them, and how? Yes. That ties very nicely with question 1 and 2. Create a community of YouTubers, bloggers that will be willing to give you some air. I always say that I do reviews of indie games, games I like, whether they're indie or not, and my friends. So people like Chris Birch from Modifius, or Kat Tobin from Pelgrane Press, Nicole Lindrus from Green Ronin, Sarah Newton, they are always, no matter what, going to have a space in my channel because they are my friends and I love them dearly. So yes, build that kind of relationship, make agreements. Hey, if I send you this, are you going to make something out of that? What will you do? Is that going to be worth my time and my money? Be honest. But yeah, I think that creating a network of media outlets, whether they're big or small, that will talk about your game for a while, definitely a good idea. As to how to find them, Facebook is your friend.
Yeah. Just be really careful. Like I said, my biggest beef when it comes to them is when you start reaching out to content creators, they I'd say they'll string you along, but there's a lot of them will talk about how all the things they can do, and then right at the end they'll say, well, this is how much it costs, and unfortunately I've been seeing the pricing for content creators skyrocket in the last year, which I understand their motivation and their reasoning, but it's one of those situations where you're like, well, Modifius or some big company will give me $1,500 to advertise their game, so that's how much it's going to cost. I go, yeah, but now you're only going to get that Modifius money, and they'll say that's fine. And like there was one guy, I'm not going to say his name, but when he did a preview video for Naramata, it was like $30. Like, sure, absolutely. And then 2 years later, I asked him what the price is, and the price came up was $300. It literally went up by like 10 times in a span of a couple of years.
And you know what? I understand that. Okay, I'm going to say I understand that because I think it's a lot easier to deal with one customer that will give you $1,500 than having to deal with 5 customers who will give you $1,500.
Yeah.
So I'd rather work once for one chunk of money. Having said that, I don't charge for my content, so I don't know about this. 4th question. For the last, probably some advertising channels that I have total ignorance and they work. Right now, the only advertising channel that really works is Facebook. By magnitudes, is way above and beyond Instagram. Twitter, don't even think about it.
Yeah, there's no engagement on Twitter, unfortunately.
None at all. And if you want to try TikTok, I wouldn't recommend that you do your own advertising. Take some people who will do some TikTok videos for you and pay them to promote their videos.
Yeah.
If you get somebody with, I don't know, 10, 15,000 viewers, and you pay them like, I don't know, a couple of $100 to get them in front of another 30,000 viewers, you are working twofold. You're promoting your game and you're promoting them. They will be happier and you will get a lot more views. What do you think?
Yeah, like I said, it's for me, that's how I did Ultramodern. I reached out and I found people that were enthusiastic about the system to do videos, and I appreciate that. Same thing I did when I did Affinity. I asked backers to record themselves doing unboxings and send me the video, and I got cool videos I got to share with people. So yeah.
People usually, if they like you, they will be happy to do things for you. Although, yeah, gaming fandom can be horrific at times. There are an awful lot of very, very good people. If you can tap into them, if you can get them to buy into your project, they will be there for you. People can be wonderful too. So that's what I would do. But in short, Facebook is the best advertising channel at the moment. Fifth question that you didn't ask, but yeah, if I had the money, I would probably go on to a marketing expert and ask them to draw a plan for you.
Yeah.
I think that would save you from very, very long hardship. But yeah, that's going to cost you. So it really depends on how much money you have. But then I'm one used to working with very small RPGs that need very little amount of money, and I barely need any marketing other than the one I was doing to make them work, because I didn't want 100,000. I just wanted 5. So
yeah,
I don't know. But yeah, Dimokritos, this is what you've been waiting me to write down, and I haven't written down because I am an asshole, but you can listen to my voice, and now you can come to me on Facebook and tell me, Paco, thank you, you're an asshole. And I think this is the end of this episode for today.
Yes.
Humans on every single one of those player handbook species, thank you very much indeed for being there.
Next week, I'll be able to tell you about my review for the Player's Handbook.
I am very, very much looking forward to that. Next, after this episode, and another interview that I've recorded last Saturday with Scott Malthouse is going to be released, where we have spoken about the Fear Beneath, I think it was, or the Terror Beneath. I can't remember. I think it's the Terror Beneath. That he's releasing very shortly with Osprey Games, and it is a very, very cool horror folklore game based on the works of Machen. So
based on what?
Machen. It's basically the Welsh author that Lovecraft took inspiration from.
Oh, okay.
He is very much an unknown, and it's a shame because I've never read any of his work. I met his great-granddaughter in a World Fantasy Con in 2013, and she spoke at a panel about the fairies, the weird, dangerous, capricious, absolutely horrible fairies that her great-grandfather spoke about and wrote about, and it was absolutely fascinating. So there is now going to be a role-playing game based on all of that, and that's going to be our next episode. Meanwhile, human beings, please send us your comments and your ideas and anything you want to tell us at podcast@gmsmagazine.com. Where you will be most welcome. I promise I will reply, even if it takes me some while, but I shall. You can still find me on Twitter and Facebook at GMS Magazine, and Threads, and Instagram, and TikTok, and everything. So please do say hello.
And this has been Chris from Deus Ex Machina. Find me on all social medias except X, because even though it's there, I don't really check it. Deus Ex Machina on Facebook and deusexmachina.com.
And until the next time, thank you once again for being there. Truly, 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 truly appreciate it. And we will talk to you very, very soon indeed. Take care.
Bye.